Hey guys, welcome to my review and my channel. This is a review of the 2019 Royal Enfield Himalayan. It's a non-ABS US model, and this is going to be my review. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe to my channel. So back in 2018 May, actually 19, Royal Enfield North America launched a Pick Your Play tour where they brought a bunch of bikes out to different places and you got to ride them. And I went to ride the Interceptor 650 and the Continental GT 650 in Summit Point, West Virginia. They had the Himalayan there, and right off the bat I noticed its Mad Max looks, low seat height, and extremely low price of $47.99. That's the thing that stuck out to me. I was like, wow, bikes like this really go for a lot more. You're looking double that price, if not more. But I wasn't ready to buy yet until I started looking online. A lot of videos from Norelite Itchy Boots and Kamikaze. They're traveling across the globe, going across Canada and the United States, and basically the world, just on the Royal Enfield Himalayan. And I thought, wow, that is exactly something I want to do. I've been riding 20 years and I've never had an adventure bike before. And this bike really did it for me, mainly for the looks and low price, and I really was excited to get it. So I do have another motorcycle now. It's a 2018 Harley Davidson Lowrider. It has a Stage 3 kit with 111 horsepower and 124 pounds of torque, and I love it. It handles great. It's great for touring cross country. But it doesn't really have the ability to go completely off-road, or the amount of off-roading that I kind of foresaw myself doing. So again, the Himalayan was really the bike I wanted to get, and the $4,800 price kind of appealed to me. But again, I knew a $4,800 price really wasn't that. When you throw in freight of $900, dealer processing $299, the bags called panners are $655 plus installation, plus the HID headlight, the hand guards, the install of everything, the $299 for service, you're looking close to $7,500 out the door. And I couldn't do that. It just wasn't worthwhile to me to do that. And I saw one in Ohio at MotoZilli, a dealership there, and they were pretty awesome. They were asking, I think, $4,200 for one that had everything already included on it, with real low miles and first service done. I made them an offer of $3,800. They accepted, and I took a bus trip on a Greyhound bus to go get it. You can see it in one of my earlier reviews on how I got that. So when I got the bike, I took a 350-mile road trip all the way back to Pasadena, Maryland. And basically, I'm going to go over some of the different things I noticed right off the bat. Actually, I have about 800 miles on the bike now. So the comfort, basically, after 700 miles, so let me just say this, it's a well-baked bike. It's unexpectedly well put together, well thought out, and has features and reliability and comfort that I did not think that I was going to experience right off the bat, but I did. Everything seems to be right into place, and the comfort and suspension and the tractability of the engine is exactly what you want, with some unexpected goodness is there. During my 350-mile trip, I noted a few things. The bike was comfy, minus the seat. The seat was a little too squishy and a little too low. Over the long distances, it kind of cramped the knees and it hurt the tush there. It was a fantastic seating position, but over the long distance, it's probably going to be something you're going to want to address, and I ordered a taller seat to address that. The windshield was a little too low for me, and you'll see in my video I actually ordered a larger windshield. The larger windshield's good. The stock windshield it definitely takes pressure off your chest over long distances, but it puts the wind blast right in your eyes. So full face helmet, not a big issue, but when you open up your visor or a three-quarter helmet, it might be an issue. So I went with a larger windshield. Um, one of the things I noticed right off the bat is that there was a high-speed wobble. Anywhere from 55 to 75, the bike would very much want to have a high-speed wobble, and that wasn't great. I ended up being able to fix that later down the road and figuring it out. I just cranked up the preload on the rear suspension all the way up. I think it's either 6 or 7, and that did the trick. There's been absolutely no more high-speed wobble. When it did happen, all I did was put pressure on the bars, outward pressure, and it stopped it. So what I ended up doing on that long trip is I used the passenger pillion back seat to kind of stretch my legs, and I rode like that for a bit, just to stretch my legs out, and that seemed to work. The handlebar position, all the switchgear was exactly where it needed to be. Again, speaking of switchgear, dash and the switchgear are near perfect. Everything's right where it should be. There's the horn, the turn signal, the brights all need to be where they are. The layout is not only functional, but it's really cool. It almost looks like a World War II fighter plane. And as you'll see in my video, I have a mini USB kit that looks like a gun sight that adds to the fighter plane feel. So kudos there. Now the engine drivetrain. This engine is not fast, it's not powerful. It pulls slowly and consistently. You can pull in any gear at any speed, and it really likes its low revs. That's where the torque is. You can ride in top gear from 45 to 75 without having to shift, and that's really cool, even loaded. Pair it with one of the quickest shifting, lightest 5-speed I've ever used, and it is fun. I'm really surprised how quick and accurate the shifter is. This bike teaches you to use energy management. It's almost like a diesel truck. You want to use your throttle and shift into almost a short shift, and then use the throttle to pull out. That's how it likes to be driven. It's very mellow, quiet, and fun engine when you get used to it. With the throttle peg, you can hold 75 miles an hour on a steep incline, even loaded, or even accelerate, albeit slowly, from 55 to 65 miles per hour on that same hill. Again, it's mellow and quiet, and I like it. It's not fast or quick, and you have to judge your merging and spacing more than average, and you can pass, but just slowly. So the brakes and tires. I heard that the brake had a very long front pull, and it was either horrible or one you had to get used to. Maybe my bike's an anomaly, but the single disc stop's really good. It's an easy 2-finger pull with very good feel, and it's not a really large extended pull. It's average to above average in my opinion. Maybe it's due to the steel brake line. The rear brake is amazing. It has great feel, and you end up using the rear brake almost as much as the front, well above average on the rear brake there. The suspension is another area that's just right. The bike is light and easy to handle, and you can load it up and it rides agile and accurate, like you were unloaded. It's almost like its physical size is bigger than how the bike feels. It feels like a smaller bike. And the surprise is it can hold a line like a very sporty standard. Maybe it's the tires that are more road biased, I think, but it can really hold the line like a sporty standard, and it's very flickable. It's more flickable than a standard. So it's a great balance between comfort, sporty ride, agility, and off-road ability. I'm still working on testing that part out. As noted, it's a non-adjustable front suspension. The rear is adjustable for preload, and I cranked it all the way. Like I said, 6 or 7. It's hard to get to. You have to put the bike on the center stand, and really you can only get to it with the spanner wrench from the driver's side, but it's really hard and awkward to get to, but it can be done. Fuel economy, I was getting anywhere from 49 miles per gallon at 75 65 miles per hour on my 350-mile trip loaded, but I'm now averaging about 59 miles per gallon with the 65 mile per hour, half commuting, half work around town. Range is about anywhere from 130 to 150. Easter eggs, there's some awesome graphics that spell it Himalayan, and there's a sneaky Himalayan mountain range on the speedometer. That's pretty cool. Maintenance. I had to tighten the mirrors with a screwdriver and crescent wrench, and they were less wiggly. I also cranked the preload that I told you and oiled the chain every 300 miles. One thing I did notice, the bike stalls on almost every cold start, no matter what the temperature. Not necessarily if it's idling, but cold start, put the choke in, then you take off, and then at your first resting stop, the bike seems to stall. I've read some of the issues with that, and there's some workarounds. It really didn't bother me because after 5-10 seconds, it never stalls. I've not had any issues other than that. The bike has actually been really rock solid, reliable. I'm following the maintenance according to the manual, and which brings me to the online support. So Royal Enfield North American is really cool. They offer some support online and a great presence online on Facebook, Instagram, and their webpage. The online community itself is really cool. Again, I'll give props to Itchy Boots and Karmakazi. I really like their vlogs. And there's a lot of good Facebook, Himalayan sites you can go to, or just a lot of different resources and supports. And there's a lot of aftermarket support for this motorcycle, so that's pretty cool. I wish the dealer network was a little stronger in North America. Hopefully it's growing. It's pretty sparse and far between. It's about an hour and a half to get to the nearest dealer. But again, the online community is hopefully there to address any of your maintenance or questions that you have. So hopefully that is a good rundown of what I've done to the bike and what my review is. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and message me, and I'll try and address them in my replies. Again, like and subscribe. You'll see a bunch more videos that I have. And thanks for watching. Enjoy your Himalayan.